Okay, good morning everyone. So what we're going to do today is we are algebra. Going to look at algebra where we have unknowns on both the left hand side and the right hand side of the equation and how to solve them. Okay, so what's going to happen, guys, is I'm going to do 3 examples, okay, with you. All right, so I said I'll do 3 just to kind of make sure you get them. So 2 kind of fairly straightforward ones and then 1 awkward one. Okay, and then I'll give you questions on teams for you to do, and you'll have to get the questions done by the end of the day. Okay, so guys, this is all in the text and textbook that you have. So these questions, they're coming from page 36 of text and text 2. Okay, right, so the first question I'm going to look at here is question 20. Okay, so question 20 gives us an equation as follows: 5x plus 5 equals 2 times 2x plus 5. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to try and keep this to the way you've been doing it all along. Alright, so the way you've been doing it all along is you go look at the left hand side first. Is there anything that needs to be worked out? And the answer is no, nothing on the left hand side. Okay, so the left hand side is perfectly fine as it is. Okay, so let's look at the right hand side. Okay, well, yeah, we've got a bracket, so we need to work out the bracket first. So the bracket needs to be done. So how do we do it? Okay, the number outside the bracket, this number here, has to be multiplied to everything inside the bracket. So all this has to get multiplied by everything outside the bracket. So let's do that. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, to prevent mistakes, draw your arrow up. So 2 has to multiply into 2x, and 2 has to go into 5. That'll get rid of the bracket and give us a new number. So let's look at that. What is that going to be? So rewrite it out. Left hand side stays the same. 5x plus 5 equals, so 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 5 is 10. Note the 2 is 2x, and that's a plus. So 2 into 2x is 4x. 2 into 5 is 10. Now, what we want to do is you want to get all the like terms to same side. So all the like terms. What do we mean by like terms? Like terms, in other words, x, just a number, just a number. You see the like terms. So we want the x's to one side and the numbers to the other. That's what we mean by a like term, if you remember that. Okay, so how do we do it? Okay, well, generally, rule of thumb, doesn't really make a difference, but it's good to get used to doing it a certain way, I suppose. But till you understand it, is we bring all the x's to the left and all the numbers to the right. So that's generally what we do. We bring all the x's to the left and all the numbers to the right. Okay, so now I'm going to give myself space. I'm going to rub out these lines up here. Okay, so we're taking all this down, guys. All this should be taken down into your notes copy. Circle the number you're going to move and circle the sign in front of it. Okay, and circle the number we're going to move. Okay, so there are 2 numbers that we're going to move. Okay, just going to rub these out, give me space. Okay, and we're going to bring this over here. And we're bringing it over, so what do we have to do? Well, that's going to become minus 4x. You have to change the sign when you go to the other side. We're going to bring this over here. And it's plus 5, so that becomes minus 5. Okay, so what's our new values then? 5x minus 4x equals 10 minus 5. Okay, so before you question where did that come from, my 5x here, or my 5 here, went to the other side, so we have to change the sign, it becomes 5x. My 4x here, bring it to the other side, so we change the sign, it becomes minus 4x. And when we rewrite it, this is what we have. So this leaves us with 1x equals 5. And that's your answer. Done. Okay, let's recap. First things first, multiply out the brackets, okay, which is this multiplied into the 2. Again, guys, you should be writing these down as I do them, okay? I might give myself a bit more space next time so I won't be rubbing things out, okay? So you multiply what's outside into the 2, draw your line, draw your arrows, okay? Don't skip steps, guys. By skipping steps, you're going to make a mistake, okay? Don't skip a step, take every single step as it is, take your time, all right? Take your time to do these things, don't rush them, don't try and skip steps. Skip steps is where you make the mistake, okay? So the second question I'm going to do with you is question 22. Okay? So question 22 is as follows. 5 into 2x minus 1 equals 8x plus 7. Actually, hold up. I won't do 22. Sorry, it's not 22. I want to do 22 is the exact same. So we're going to do 24. Okay, so question 24. So apologies there. So I don't want to do 22. 22 is the exact same as 20. 20, that's not good to us. We need to see something different. So question 24. 5 into x minus 5 equals 3 into x plus 1. So 5 into x minus 5 equals 3 into x plus 1. So again, your left hand side, your right hand side. Now it's different to the last one. See, in the last one, we started off with a bracket on one side. Now we have a bracket on both sides. So we need to do the same thing to both sides. So 5 is going to have to go into 5 into x. And 5 is going to have to go into minus 5, not 5. There's a mistake there that a lot of people make. 3 is going to go into x. And 3 is going to go into 1. Okay, so let's rewrite out now our new equation down here. Okay, so 5 into x gives us 5x. 5 into minus 5 gives us minus 25. That equals 3 into x gives us 3x. 3 times 1 is simply 3. Okay, so we have 5x minus 25 equals 3x plus 3. So now what do we have to do? Yeah, bring everything to one side. Okay, so all the like terms to one, all the x's to one side, all the numbers to the other. So on this side, I'm going to get rid of this, minus 25. See the way I circled the sign? And we bring that over here. Now the minus will become plus 25. 3x, I'm going to bring over here. That's a plus, so it becomes minus 3x. So let's rewrite out our sentence now. 5x minus 3x equals 3 plus 25. So 5 minus 3 will be 2. 25 plus 3, 28. So then what we have to do, we have to divide across by the 2. So divide both sides by 2. So we're going to have, 2x over 2 equals 28 over 2. So why am I doing that? Okay, before I better explain. Okay, so what we have, we're now down to this number here, but what we want is we don't want 2x, we want x. So what do we have to do? We have to divide both sides by number attached to 2. Oh, it's attached to x. Okay? Do you remember that from earlier, guys, in the year? We divide both sides by a number attached to x. In other words, whatever number is next to x, we divide by that. Okay, so you can pause the video and write that down. I'm just going to rub it out there so we can get I can move on. Okay? So because it's a 2, we just have to divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2, because that's the number in front of x. You see? So we have 2x over 2, 28 over 2. And the 2 will cancel that. And 28 divided by 2 will give us, any ideas? 14. Oh, it didn't turn off there. Hold on a second. There we go. It'll give us 14. Okay? So that gives us x equals 14. You can put that into the calculator. It was too close to the margin, that's why I kept deleting there. Okay? Because 28 divided by 2 is 14. And that's it. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 28 divided by 2 is 14. Okay? So again, we'll recap that. So this time there was brackets on both sides. You just do what we did before. You multiply in both sides brackets. Oops, that's gone there for some reason. So that was x. Okay? So you multiply both sides brackets in. Okay? Bring your arrows across. Okay? Then once you do that, you get a number like this down below here. And what you do is you bring all the x's to one side, all the numbers to the other side, and do it that way. Then when you have that, you just simply work it out then from there. Okay? Don't forget all the steps. Okay? Now the next question is a tough enough one. Okay? So as usual, guys, take everything down. If you think you can do it, sure, finish it before me, by all means. Okay? So now we're going to look at question 34. This is all on the same page, guys. So this is all still on page 36. Okay, so we're still on page 36 here. Okay, so that's what we're at. Question 34 now. Question 34 is a tough one. Here's why. Okay, it's the hard one. See how you get on with this. 4 into x minus 2. Okay, minus 6 equals 6 minus x plus 5. Okay, so 4 into x minus 2 minus 6 equals 6 minus x plus 5. So we have 2 brackets on each side, but we've also got extra numbers on each side. You see, so it's different to the last two. So that's why I'm doing these examples, because each example is going to be slightly different, okay? To make it more challenging, to challenge you, okay? So we look at the left-hand side. Left-hand side, okay, 4 into x, 4 into minus 2. Okay, so that's fairly straightforward. The 6 is on its own. So this thing here is on its own, so you can just leave that as it is for now. Then we go to the right-hand side. We have 6 on its own. But what do we do here? What are we going to do? Any ideas? So what do we got? We've got a minus number outside a bracket and an x minus 5 plus 5. So what do we do? Is it... So... A common mistake people do, and I think some of you probably said this already, is, oh, that would be, sir, 6 minus x plus 5. That's what you probably said, huh? Yeah? 6 minus x plus 5? Well, congratulations, that's wrong. Okay, so it's not that. Why isn't it that? Well, let's apply the knowledge that we have from the previous question. Okay? The number outside multiplies in. The number outside multiplies in. So what's our number outside here? Well, you could say when there's no number there, that's because there's a 1. You see? So if you imagine it's minus 1 into x plus 5. Okay? That's what's happening there. And that has to get multiplied in to both. Okay? Now if you find the minus 1 too confusing, then we look at it another way. The minus gets multiplied into both. You have to multiply the x and the 5 by the minus. Okay? So we go back to our left, right? So therefore, our right-hand side will be 6 equals, oh, sorry, not 6 equals, 6 minus x, because minus times x is minus x. So minus times 5 will give us minus 5. Okay? And then on the left-hand side, 4 times x gives us 4x. 4 into minus 2 gives us minus 8. And minus 6. You see? Are we okay with this? So over here, guys, this is where people get caught out, okay? The minus has to get multiplied into both. Get into the x and into the 5. Now, the reason being is it's actually minus 1, okay? But some people prefer to put in the 1, some people find that confusing. So an easy way to think of it, guys, is you're just multiplying both things inside the bracket by the minus. And anything multiplied by a minus, you change the sign, okay? Now, what should we do first here? So usually, I would say bring the like terms to one side. So bring all the x's to the left and all the numbers to the right. Now there's lots of numbers here. And it's going to create a lot of confusion and things could go wrong. So what you should do first, okay, is simplify. Simplify. In other words, add like terms if possible. Okay? So add the like terms if possible. Okay? So we add the like terms if possible. So you can take that down there. I'm going to have to rub it out because I need the space, so you can pause the video. So add the like terms if possible. Alright? So what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at our left-hand side first. 4x is on its own, but minus 8 minus 6. So what would minus 8 minus 6 give us? Well, if they're the same, so again, remember back to one of the first videos I did, guys. I said if they're the like terms like that, if they're the same sign, you basically add them and keep the sign. So basically it's 8 plus 6 gives us 14. And the sign is minus. Remember that to the very first video? So if you can't remember, go back to the first video and watch it again. If they're the same sign, minus and minus, add them together and keep the sign. So that's that sign. Now, let's go to our left-hand side. We have my 6 minus x and 5. What are the like terms? 6 minus 5. So they're the like terms. So x is on its own. So what do we do with like terms where the signs are opposite? What did we say back in the first video? We subtract and we keep the sign in a bigger number. So 5 or 6 minus 5 is 1. And the largest number is the 6, which is a plus. So we keep it as a plus. And we keep it, right? So we're left end with, oops, I accidentally got rid of it. And minus x doesn't have any impact at all. So that stays minus x. You see, so this one was difficult. So 4x, 8 minus 6 gives us minus 14. On the other side, 6 minus 5 gives us 1. And x stays as it is, minus x. Okay? Now we bring our like terms to the same side. So I'm going to circle my minus here and bring it over here, which becomes plus x. I'm going to circle my minus 14, bring it over here, so it becomes plus 14. So now we have 4x plus x equals 1 plus 14. So what does that give us? 5x equals 15. Okay, so now you should see where this is going. What's the number in front of the x? It's a 5. So what should we do? Divide by 5. So that gives us 5x over 5. Again, this is back in the second video, I think, over 5. So they'll disappear. And this knocks that off to 3. X equals 3. Okay, so we had to use all our knowledge for this one. Okay, so all your knowledge throughout this algebra course had to be brought back in for this video here, okay, to solve this question. Okay, so that's the idea, you see. So everything we learned, baby steps, accumulates as you go. All right, so we had to learn how to do the brackets. Okay, so we learned how to do the brackets up here. Okay, then we had to do the adding and subtracting the like terms. Okay, and what sign do we use? Then we had to do the rotation of either side. Then we had to do how do we get it from 5x to x, you see. So everything came together. Okay, so up in Teams, guys, I have a list of questions for you to do for today. And if you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section below or leave it on the Teams page. All the best.